Hi there. I'm thinking today about applying some stems to a new flower hug. This one is already finished, and it made me think, how often do I really use rickrack on my quilts? And I've pulled a few quilts out to show you the rickrack, and I'm surprised at how often I do use rickrack. I love it. And it's so versatile. You can use it in so many ways. So this is the most common way I use rickrack. I use it as a stem. And what I'm going to do later today is I'm going to take the one that's not worked on yet. It's still just in the early stages. I'm going to put my feed dogs down and use an open toe quilting foot. And I am just going to vary with the same color thread as the stem, which is slimy green. I am going to stitch down one side until down here, and then I'm just going to stitch back up the other. And if it's with the same color, it's not hardly visible at all. And it will hold the rickrack down if it ever is washed. So you can use it in lots of quilts. I'm going to show you how I do the rickrack when I am wanting to sew down the edges of the rickrack. I use this type of a foot. This is a quilting foot, but I found it's better if I have this total loop rather than have the open loop, because the open loop sometimes catches these pieces. I've already glued this down with just a little water-soluble glue. You can use Elmer's if you just put a few little dots. And I've threaded my machine with green thread to match this green. And I think I'm ready to start by putting my needle down and pulling it up so that I can pull both threads up, pull the bobbin thread up. Just so easy as, nope, it's not going to be that easy. So we're going to take this out again, and we're going to try one more time. That time might have done it. There's my bobbin. All right, so I can hold both threads, stick my needle back down, and I'm going to put my gloves on. My feed dogs are down so that I am doing basically free motion, a quilting stitch, and just going right, kind of close to the edge. Take a few stitches right there close to the beginning. And if the I'm done, and I can pull my threads to the back and knot it. Here's another idea of rickrack as a stem. This is a Presta-Link's birdhouse, and again I have stitched on the outer edges all the way down. And I love this fact that rickrack comes in so many different sizes. Here's really tiny rickrack that I don't stitch on both sides of that one. I just stitch down the middle with matching thread. So it comes very small. It also comes in a very different jumbo sizes. Here is a larger rickrack. I like the fact that it comes in different colors. Originally, when I made this quilt, I thought I would put rickrack around every diamond. And then after I did the big diamond, I thought, I think I'll just do it around a few of the diamonds. It can take some time, and I thought too much rickrack might be too much rickrack. Here's another place. This is an older quilt, and look at the size of this stem with the green rickrack. It is so big that I decided it needed something in the center, so I think I went with hand stitching and did a little embroidery stem stitch in the middle of this big stem. This is called Zoe's quilt, and it's just big rickrack used as a stem. Another way to use it is if you wanted to make a quilt with balloons. This is Howard's birthday quilt, and the balloons are very small little rickrack. It's applied pretty easily, stitched down the middle on this one, and it should wash and launder fine. Here are some other ideas. I showed you this one. It makes great kites. What are those called? Tails. So this is another one. You can put it on for kite tails. Here are some more stems. These are called girly gears, and their stems are made with green. I think green is probably the rickrack that I use the most, simply because of stems. Here's another gear quilt. This is Macho Gears. And I wanted to show this one because these Macho Gears have a rickrack that's very fancy. It's lots of different colors. And I think I stitched around this one in the center. Well, I think I see two lines. So I may have stitched around both edges. This time I might have used an invisible thread. Here's one more. This is Ferris wheel flowers. I do have Ferris wheel flowers with bias stems, but I found that rickrack is a lot faster. Here's another version of Ferris wheel flowers, and this is Ferris wheel fireworks. So I encourage, oh, I forgot this one back here. This one was a big gray rickrack, and fairly easy again, just to stitch around, just curve it. The bigger the rickrack, the less curve, the harder it is to curve. So if it's smaller, it will curve easier. And I also wanted to mention that I read in a book about using other trims, because I use lots of different trims. If I'm sewing rickrack, I can sew it down one side and back up the other. But if you're using something like satin ribbon or just ribbon that might not work so well. You might want to use a double needle and stitch down it. Or I think if you wanted to couch, if it's very thin, you can couch very thin rickrack or very thin ribbon and tribs. So enjoy rickrack. It's lots of fun. Thank you for watching. And if you feel like you learned something from this presentation, go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe so you'll be notified when the next video comes along.